G'day, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Encounters Down Live. Thanks for joining me, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for joining me. It's going to be an absolutely awesome episode this evening or tonight, wherever you're watching from. It's going to be awesome. We will be talking about the Westall Encounter. That's now 60 years ago. That's a long time ago. Bloody hell, it's a long time ago. But look, it's a very monumental moment in history there in Australia. So it's going to be awesome. We're collecting this from a witness themselves. And a lot of things have changed over the years, but we really haven't got much out of it really when we really try and dive deeper into this whole phenomena and this encounter. But look, guys, don't forget to go and hit a like on this bad boy there, share it with your friends and family wherever you need to go and send it to, and help support the show. And hitting a like basically. But look, we're running a bit behind though because we had a bit of technical difficulties there with the audio and whatnot's coming through from our guests, and we try to do a couple of things here to try and get a bit better. But look, things are working a little bit better now. So for whatever reason, we're able to keep going, and we'll go crack into this. So, all right, I got tonight with me. I got Phyllis or Philly, who is one of the witnesses of the UFO encounter there in Westall there back in 1966 or 6th of April 1966. So let's get Philly on here. Hang on, we go there. Philly, how you going?
I'm good, thanks, Anthony.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you here. Like, Westall is one of the biggest, probably mass sightings in Australian history there when it comes to the UFO phenomena. And you, of all people, got to go and see this. Of like, what is it, like 200-300 people that got to see this thing?
Well, they say over the years, I would have said myself about 200 odd, yes.
Yep, that's still a lot of people. Like, that's so many like different perspectives, and and I guess like because a lot of people are probably already very familiar with the whole encounter itself and how it all developed and how the governments handle it and whatnot there. But look, let's get your perspective on this thing. Because obviously, as I said, like there's lots of different perspectives there. Like, let's hear about your experience and how you've sort of evolved throughout the years on this. So, if you don't mind, just run through with us like where this all started from. What basically?
Okay. I was in Form 3. At the time, I was almost ready to leave school. I left school at the age of 15 at the end of the year. So, yeah, I was about 14 and a half when it happened in Form 3. We were out on the oval with, quite a few other kids there. And we were doing PE. And I don't even really remember, I don't remember seeing anything move over. I just remember looking up and seeing 2 of the UFOs above us and one further over at the other end of the oval, near the big electric pylon that was built at the end of the oval, end of the school. And we were just absolutely mesmerised by what we were seeing. We weren't little 5-year-olds. We were teenagers, and we just couldn't believe what we were looking at. They were hovering above us. It's hard to say how many meters up, but it wouldn't have been any more than, I'd say, 100 meters up in the sky from where we were standing. I don't recall a lot of noise. There was a very slight humming, but not a lot of noise, and I don't recall any lights on the objects. And as I said, we just couldn't believe what we were looking at, and it was obvious that they were just there to observe what us kids were doing on the oval. no fear, no nothing. We weren't scared. We were just absolutely astounded at what we were looking at. So yeah, it sort of started from there, and Mr. Greenwood came out. He was on the oval as well. I think he was a science teacher, and of course, once one of the kids ran into the schoolroom and said to Mr. Greenwood, "There's a UFO or flying saucers outside," everyone just ran out onto the oval um, and joined us, just standing there mesmerised. So, I, from memory, I think it would have been a good 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes or so that we were standing there. And Mr. Greenwood at the time he was only a young teacher. He was only about 23 years old. Um, and he was just as mesmerised and had no answers. We were saying, "What is it, Mr. Greenwood?" And he's saying, "I don't know." You know. Um, so yeah, after that it was uh, when they did decide to take off through the air, they turned on their side, um, and no, we're talking 60 years ago, and even then, like the speed, like nothing at all on Earth, even now. It was incredible. So they took off all in the one direction, and from what we could see, there was a place called the Grange where all of us kids used to play, set behind a big row of pine trees, quite away from the school. And I'd say it would probably have been a good half a kilometre over towards the pine tree where they went, and we watched them lower down, the three of them. And of course, by then, the headmaster, Mr. Sambleby, was saying, all of you kids, an assembly, hurry up, get here quick. And of course, he'd been saying that for a few minutes, and we didn't even head off straight away. We just still were mesmerised with what we'd seen, and we were astounded. Anyway, we eventually went to the assembly, and there were already, in that short amount of time, there were men in dark suits and military uniform, all standing around on the platform where Mr. Sambleby usually did his morning addresses from. And they were standing around him. And once we all got there and were assembled, he said to us, to all of us kids, and this absolutely still astounds me. He said, "You have seen nothing. You will not talk to anyone about this. No media, no one, ever. You have seen nothing." And I mean, we were 14 and a half, 15 years old. You can't tell us we saw nothing. So, yeah, after that, it was um, get back to your class, la, la, la. And of course, the whole day was just, the whole subject was, all day was just what we'd seen. And we'd already made up our minds. I lived in Fairbank Road where the school was situated. And my neighbours and I had already decided, come 3:30, we were out of there and we were going straight to the Grange, which is what we did. And of course, we knew the place like the back of our hand. We used to play there all the time, and we knew the people that leased the area. They were horse owners, and they leased the Grange. So we were playing there all the time. They were our neighbours. They lived in our same street. And yeah, so we went to the Grange and past the pines, through the wire fence, and of course the grass in the Grange was absolutely knee high, like in some places up to a kid's almost to their waist. That's how high the grass was. And there we found 3 flattened areas, round areas, and the grass was absolutely flattened with singed around the edges, and in the midst of that, it was like three. How do I explain this? It was like the grass had been turned the opposite way, like three circles. And yeah, so the actual dome, the platform had landed, and the grass went one way, but these three domes, three circles that were left, were the grass was turned the other way. Like
Right.
three circles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, we were there for quite a while, and
God, no, lost it. She's pushing the button. Oh no! Hang on, I was like, get it back on. Hang on, sorry guys, just try and get it back on there to make sure she's getting us back on there. But yeah, to Jimmy, I'm not 100% sure, mate. But obviously there's 200 witnesses potentially, or if not more. She came forward, and yeah, we got it back now.
I'm so sorry, Anthony.
You're right.
Anyway, yeah, so we went home and told our parents, each of us, what we'd seen. Look, I was one of 8 kids. I had a younger brother that was at the time at the Westall State School. He was in, I think, about 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade. And the kids from the state school, some of them, saw it, but they weren't as close as we were to them. But yeah, I was really the only one that had an absolute sighting of them. And I couldn't believe it after, being one of 8 kids. But anyway, must have been privileged or something. But yeah,
Absolutely.
so I told my mum and dad about it. And my dad was an interstate truck driver, and he happened to be home at the time. And yeah, they believed every word I said. And I'll never forget what my mum said. Mum said to me, well, if we're here on this planet, who's to say there's not another existence somewhere else? And
Yeah.
I've
Wow.
always believed that. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that was fine, but yeah, we weren't allowed to talk to anyone about it or anything. So, but even to this day, 60 years later, the witnesses, we still get together now and then, and especially on anniversaries and things. And we did a student information thing, an information afternoon. I think it was early this year, and the kids were actually in Form 3. Were actually doing a study on the actual UFO event, so that was really interesting to go
Oh
back
wow.
and talk to the kids about it and answer their questions. But yeah, in the meantime, yeah, it just still remains a mystery. Not so much a mystery, but one hell of a cover up for sure by the
Oh,
military and the government. Yeah, yeah,
definitely. Because, like, obviously, yeah, like we were saying, like 60 years now, and there's still
mm,
nothing come forward about it. No, nothing from the government said they want no bar of it whatsoever.
no,
Inquiries have been made several times throughout the years, and it just seems to be keeping getting palmed off. And
yeah.
so,
Well,
like, how does that make you feel that there's nothing happened with this?
oh, you're muffled. You're
You all right?
right.
Can you hear me now? Right? Yep.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you all right. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I was going to mention one thing. When we were in the assembly, um, the head mistress, or vice principal, whatever she might have been called then, Mrs. Robbins, in those days you didn't have phones where you could just take a picture whenever you felt
No,
like
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
She raced around and got her camera and actually took some photos of the object. And the military and the men in suits took the camera from her. And I really don't know what happened after that. Whether they took the film out or took the whole camera, I don't know. But it was confiscated. So
Yeah.
And this, another thing that amazes me is the military and the government must have been aware that they were in the air, because the closest military station even was in Melbourne, and a good hour's drive away from Westall.
Yeah.
And they were there in 10 minutes. Like, where did they come from? How did they know it was there?
Yeah.
That they were in the sky, and it's just a big cover up. I'm
Yeah.
totally convinced of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
anyway, we
No,
were told not to speak. Mrs. Robbins' camera was confiscated, and I believe that night a couple of military people went to Mr. Greenwood's door and advised him that if he valued his teaching career, and he was only a young teacher, as I said before, 23 or so years old, and just not long into the teaching bit of things. So they said to him, if you value your teaching career, you won't breathe a word of this. And if you do, we'll make it so that you lose your job and you won't ever teach again.
yeah. Yeah. I remember hearing
So,
something about that.
yeah, so that proved to me that, it was a cover up. But we heard that years later that they had been to Mr. Greenwood's place and done that. And for years, he never said a word. And I think it was 50 or so years, maybe 55 years, before he came up with, the day and what he'd witnessed.
Yeah.
And everything he said was exactly what I have just said. He
Yeah.
saw exactly what I saw on the oval. And I can't speak for everyone. There were a lot there, but when I tell a story about it, I tell what I saw.
Yeah.
So, you know, other stories are, yeah, the same. Some are very similar. But yeah, it's just, oh, well, I suppose by the time my days are gone, I just want it proven that what we saw were UFOs and it was a big cover up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all we want, really, is the truth. It's
Yeah.
and I was going to ask before too. Like, now it's been 60 years and nothing has come of this at all. Like, negligence from the government side, military wants nothing to do with it. How has that
Mm.
made you feel that now it's 60 years on, there's still nothing there?
Well, there's a lot more on the American side of things. There's a lot more has come to light over the last few years, with jet fighter pilots and that sort of thing, and what they've seen, and you hear reports of what they've seen. But what astounded me on one of those reports was, um, one of them, of course, with phones and everything now, one of the fighters pilots took a video of what he was looking at, and I was absolutely astounded when I saw it, because it was the closest thing to what I have in my mind as to what I saw. It
Yeah.
looked exactly the same. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't speak for America, but yeah, what they saw were what I saw.
Yeah.
And I've got I don't know whether you can see here or not now that it's getting dark out here, but I have a sketch of
Oh,
what
yeah.
I saw.
Just bring it back towards you a little bit.
I can't hear.
Hang on, I
It's
lost you a little bit there.
it's a sketch of the three objects.
Hang on, just bring it back towards you a little bit. It's just a little bit out of focus. It's not helping too much. I think we just see it there now. So hang on,
No,
I'll bring this.
it's
You
hard
get
to
a
tell
bit of.
in this light. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I'm
just the
stuck.
camera's just trying to focus. I can see it just, but yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, but yeah. Look, I can send these to you anyway via
Yeah,
email if
please
you
do.
like.
Yeah,
And I have to say, my granddaughter, who's now 26, but a few years ago now, she said to me, "Gran, you really have to write down what you saw, and
yeah,
write your account of it." And after a while, I said, "Okay, I'll do it." So, and I have written down what I saw, and I'll email that to you as well.
yeah. Please
Um,
do.
but yeah, look, it's just phenomenal. And why the hell I was chosen to see it, I don't know. But I'm absolutely privileged to have seen what we saw out on the oval that day.
Yeah.
And nothing at all would change my mind about them being UFOs. They absolutely were what we saw.
Yeah. So just a question from Emma here. Now she's asked the question like, do you remember any heat or any sort of forms of exhaust or rockets, something that could
No,
explain propulsion?
no, I don't remember any real. There was a very slight hum, not a loud noise, um, but I don't recall any heat or feeling heat coming from them. As I said, they were probably a good 50, 80 meters, maybe 100 meters, but probably no more than that, up
Yeah.
in the sky. Um, but yeah, big enough for us to see all the detail on what they were. They were silver, like oh, like a dull sort of silver, a little bit like pewter, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah.
That sort of colour, but really streamlined, really contoured. Yeah, nothing bulbous about them. A lot of people, and I have to say, some people aren't real good at drawing what they see in their mind.
Yeah.
Um, and some of the drawings that I've seen that people, from witnesses, is beyond me how they how they can draw a cup and saucer. To me, there's no way it looked like that.
Yeah.
And what I have drawn here is closest to what I saw. Mm.
Yeah, right. No, that's fair enough. Like, yeah, like I was saying before, there's a lot of perspectives there, and a lot of people have seen different sort of angles and whatnots and
Mm.
different viewpoints. So it's I think it was in Ross Coulthardt's doco there, the phenomena. I think it was called. I think it was that one. He actually
Yeah.
had a few witnesses drawing their version of the UFOs, and that, and then some of them did look a little bit different, but there was a
Mm.
bit of a
Yeah.
similarity to them as well. So, were
Mm.
you featured in that at all? Were you in there?
No, I wasn't in Ross Coulthard's one. No, I
No.
don't
Okay.
think so. I've had a few um, interviews and whatever over the years, and I'm sure I would have remembered Ross's, but I don't think I was. No.
No, that's okay. That's all right. So just another question here from Jimmy too. Like when everything was going on, right? Was there any police in at the scene at all, or was it just full military presence?
Um, Police came afterwards. But one thing I forgot to say was that um, within an hour or so of us being at the Grange and sighted the where they had landed, the military was all over the Grange. No one was allowed in, nothing, and the paddock was burnt. They burnt the evidence of where
Oh
they
right,
landed.
yeah, of
Yeah, yeah.
course they would.
But no, nothing. No, it was police afterwards, but the military and men in black suits. I mean, it sounds silly, doesn't it? That
Yeah, it does.
that that what was there? Yeah.
Yeah. So what
Mm.
like the story goes, like, or the rumor mill, a lot of the Chinese whispers have happened over the years, and there's always been talk of several kids running down into the Grange there to go and see if they can get closer to these crafts. Now, is
Several
that
kids. You're breaking up, but I think you said several kids went to the Grange.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, is that true, or is this a
Yeah.
bit of
Well,
a
my girlfriend and her brothers and my neighbours that we went after school with. There was six of us, and there was other little groups as well that went. Yeah.
yeah, right? So, but this like during while the craft was there, while these crafts were landing,
No,
or
this
is
is
after?
after the crafts had landed. By the time we got there, of course, they'd gone again, but they'd left, like, the evidence was there as to where they had landed at the Grange.
Right.
I'm going to move
Okay,
up
because
here closer to the light.
that's all right. That's all good. No, because apparently there's a story there where, like, as the crafts were landing, people, some kids have jumped the fence there and run into the bush to go and try and
No,
get closer up to these objects.
no, sorry. No, I don't agree with that one. But yeah, some people, some people say what they saw, and some of their imaginations, I think, run away with them. But
Yeah,
no, not as far as I know. There was no one touching anything. No one actually saw them landed. But and I mean, this is just my story. I know what I saw.
yeah.
And we got to the school as soon as the bell rang. We just took off. We ran to the Grange. Now, whether or not someone had left the school during school hours and saw what they saw, I don't know. But from what I saw, no, there was no object on the ground.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's all right because like I said, like there's a lot of Chinese whispers going on. People are
Yeah.
different stories going about. It makes it sound better or whatnot. And then
Mm.
like there's probably even a story where a girl's even touched the object, and then she's gone in hysterics or something like that, and come back, and then there's that girl went missing. And then the kids have come
The one
gone
that went
to
off
her
in the
house.
ambulance,
Yeah,
that ambulance came to the school. It wasn't at the Grange. The ambulance came to the school. And look, as far as I know, they did take her away. I don't know whether she was having a bit of a nervous fit over what she'd seen and was really scared and nervous about things. I don't know. But as far as I know, um, it was at the school when she was taken. The ambulance came and took her to hospital, not from where they landed.
right. Okay, because apparently
Mm.
like the same girl, like kids come around there to go and see if she was all right, and went to her house, knocked on the
So,
door, and it's a completely different family.
well, the story I know about that one was that, um, and look, I'm not saying this is what happened, but the story I heard was that her parents had moved anyway.
Oh,
They'd,
right.
they'd moved. Yeah. So when her friends went to her house, um, she'd moved. I don't know why or whatever, but um, who knows? I don't know whether they were advised to leave. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Mm,
Yeah, no, it's like it
mm.
just all adds to the conspiracy, with
Well,
like
it does. Yeah. I
well,
mean,
adds it
if
adds
they went to Mr. Greenwood's house and warned him, they might have gone to this girl's family home and said the same thing. I don't know.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I just got Jane here. Jane's, like, the girl apparently has spoken about that event. Yeah, I think she was actually on Ross's, doco there on the second one of his, The Phenomena. And I
Oh,
can't remember. I have to go and rewatch it myself there to go and
yeah,
double
I
check
don't
on that,
think I've
but
seen that one. I must watch it. I've heard about
yeah,
it. I know that he did one, but I don't think I've seen it. Mm.
yeah. No, because I definitely need to go and watch it again and just go and sort of, recollect
Yeah.
myself on it a bit there, but, yeah, obviously, I wanna try and, get from a personal point of view, on the whole events that happened, like, trying to add up the, any missing links or if there's something that's,
Mhm.
happened between that we're trying,
Well,
try and yeah.
yeah. Shane Ryan has been trying for years to do that, Anthony, and
Yeah.
he's been blocked every which way. So I don't think anyone else is about to be able to do it.
No,
Um,
look, I've got to commend Ryan, Shane as well. Like he's done such
well,
a
he's been
big job, like
wonderful.
over the years, dedication. Like holy jeez, that's
Yeah.
dedicated to to the max. you know,
Yes. Yeah. He's done a wonderful job. Um, and it's to begin with, he was told he couldn't view any film that was taken or whatever else by the TV stations and that sort of thing. And you probably know that years later they contacted him and said, "Oh, you can come and have a look at what do they call it? The film, um,
mm,
the tins that the films are kept in. Oh, you can
yeah,
come and have a look now," and la la la. And as far as I know, the story goes that he was that when he got there, found um, the case that the film was in, and he opened it and it was empty.
yeah,
So
I remember something about that. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So it's all a big cover up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bullshit, isn't it? It's like why
it
cover things
really
up
is.
like this? Like there's no need for it. Like
Well,
sure,
I think they would have frightened the hell out of a lot of people at the time.
Oh yeah.
And I can understand them keeping it quiet to a certain extent, but and for those reasons. But to tell us kids, teenagers, that you have seen nothing, you will never talk about this, la la la. And we were just left astounded. We were just standing around in the assembly area just looking at each other saying, what? We know what we saw, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah, it would be nice to have it at least admitted by the military and the government, you know, as I said before, that what we saw were UFOs. Yeah.
Yeah, at least all the research and the findings and whatever that the evidence based on everything that's happened that day. It gives
Mm,
clarity to you guys. Because it's
yeah.
like over the years, like how's it made you feel though? Like you've witnessed something so phenomenal. How's it sort of affected you over the years?
Well, it hasn't really, it's hard to say. It hasn't really affected me in any way. What has affected me is, um, to start with, we probably talked about it quite a bit when we were kids, saying what we saw and all of that sort of thing. But as you get older, you sort of keep it to yourself, and it's just something you experienced, and you hope to hell that one day it'll be proven. But then you have adults come to you that are really interested, like yourself, for instance.
Yep.
Um, and it's nice to be able to get your story across and have someone believe what you're saying, you know.
Yeah.
Um, might sound a bit far-fetched to a lot of people, and I don't discuss it with a lot of people these days, but people that are genuinely interested, I do tell them the story and what I saw. Yeah.
No, that's fair enough too. Like, because like not everyone's open to the whole idea that the UFO phenomena is real. And I suppose
Yeah.
when you try and bring up, a mass sighting like this, there people are going, "Ah, you're full of shit,"
Mm.
People wanna sort of
And
dismiss it.
yeah, look, you have a real feeling of being privileged. I don't know why it was me, you know? And that's the question I do ask myself. Why me? Why did I see it? And as I said before, I'm one of 8 kids.
Yeah.
Why did only one other little brother see it in the sky? Like, yeah, it's phenomenal. That's what it is. It's phenomenal.
Oh,
Mm.
absolutely, yeah. So,
Mhm.
after seeing this though, has it, like, sort of, opened your mind to seeing other things at all? Like, have you had any other encounters that since then, or is this just that one thing?
No, I haven't had any other UFO encounters. Um, what I have said to my husband, though, is, remember me saying before about the fighter pilots,
Mhm.
and seeing what they saw, the object, and they took a video of it. That object, apparently, there was 3 pilots on some sort of a mission they were doing, and they had to rendezvous quite away from where they were when they saw the object, and when he took the video of it on his phone. And these pilots were talking between themselves like radio on in their planes, their jets, where they were going to rendezvous and that sort of thing. Um, and believe it or not, when they got there, they all flew off to their rendezvous. I don't know how many kilometres or miles away it was. When they got there, the same UFO was there.
Are you
So
talking
there's,
about the Nimitz encounter?
oh, look, I don't know what it was called. I just remember seeing it on the telly and saying to my husband, that is the closest thing to what I saw.
Right.
And that was the story that went with it. Um, and yeah, just incredible. And then there was another story that someone in one of these in the Air Force had seen an object, and it was above the ocean, like they were flying above the ocean. And as far as they could see, it turned on its side, took off like I had explained at a phenomenal speed, and it went in to the ocean.
Yeah.
Now, who's to say there's not another, maybe an Atlantis or something under the ocean? I don't know. But if that's what he saw, it makes you wonder, you know. Mm.
Well, that's always been a cause for question there with, people saying that, well, when we've been researching this thing like such myself there and other people, we've always talked about, well, what if they're under the oceans? Like there's a lot of area there to go and hide, and being under there has got a high potential of a
It's hard,
nice little secret base in the
yeah.
bottom there.
It's hard for me to imagine a universe under the ocean and able to even breathe. But
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? You know, they're so far ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
It could be. Who knows?
Yeah, an
Just
advanced
hope.
civilization that can defy gravity, basically, and the laws of physics as we know it. And
Mm,
there's every single
yeah,
possibility that they're under there with a fair civilization under the
that's
crust of the
true.
earth, or have their own little base on the ocean
Yeah,
floor. Who knows? And they're just
who
really
knows?
good at hiding.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. It's to this day, it just is beyond my comprehension. You know, as to I'm convinced myself that they are UFOs, but beyond me understanding why it's been covered up for
Yeah,
so long. I could understand at the time and saving, people from panicking and all sorts of things. But, look, I'm 75 this year. 60 years ago I saw this, and I just wanted
yeah,
admitted that it was what we saw.
yeah. Because
Mm.
then it just proves you guys aren't crazy and all hallucinating the same thing.
Yeah, well, see, that's one of the reasons why you don't, as the years go by, you learn not to say too much about it.
Yeah,
In public and where there are a lot of people. Someone might start talking about it at a party or whatever else. Um, but you sort of look around and take stock of who's there and whether you should say something or not. Um, and that's what I said before. It's you learn not to say too much, but I do talk to the people that are really interested in what happened, and
yeah.
they'll listen without poking fun. You know,
Hmm.
I
So,
mean, I could do.
after you saw this, obviously you encountered these objects, these UFOs. Did it sort of drive you to want to try and look more into the phenomena, or have you sort of just like accepted that what it is and just gone, okay, look, that's it. I know
No,
they're
because
there, but you,
well, I've always those of us that were on the Oval and saw what we saw have always absolutely believed they are UFOs. They were not bloody balloons or anything else. They were UFOs, and we just want it proven and for people to own up and say that what we saw were UFOs.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to try and like look more into the phenomena for more evidence that these things are existent everywhere else, basically, or
Well, at that age, we were told to shut up and not say a word by the authorities, and for years, I mean, apart from my family members and that sort of thing, I never talked about it except at home. Um,
yeah,
and you just didn't, I mean, these days, the kids would probably be more vocal about it all to
yeah,
whoever wanted to listen. But no, we were under strict rulings not to talk to anyone, the media, no one.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Mm.
don't mind, can I just get you to go and spin around with the camera for me, just like so get your
Sorry,
stuff in the light a bit more, just to get you
sorry,
a bit more in the light.
sorry, Anthony, I didn't get it.
Can I get you to spin around with the light just so we can just see you a bit better? That's all. It's just a bit shadowy
Mm.
cast. That's all. So if you don't mind,
Well, that's
there we
better,
go.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit better.
Sorry,
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's fine.
that's good.
Um, that's a lot better. So I've got Roger here asked a question there. Whilst you're experiencing this encounter, like, do you remember seeing any local Cessnas or planes leaving the airport there, engaging with the craft?
Well, there was talk of 5 or 6 Cessnas from the Moorabbin Airport being around. But to be honest, me personally, I don't remember seeing any little planes. There was things much more interesting in the sky to be looking at than little aeroplanes that you see every day, you know. Yeah, look, I believe they were there and flying around, you know, once they realised that the objects were there. But I don't recall seeing any in the sky.
Yeah.
And it's probably just because I was just so fascinated with what I was looking at.
Yeah. No, fair enough. That's fair enough.
Mm.
So what are you talking about? Like you mentioned this to your family as well. Like how's your family responded when you talk about this?
My family, well, they
Yeah, how
totally
they
believe. They totally believe what I saw. Um, I'm the fourth one of 8 kids, as I said before, but my older brothers and sisters absolutely believed what I saw and you know how I described it and what the story was. The younger ones learnt about it anyway, you know, as the years went by. But no one has ever really questioned me and said, "Oh, you know, you're mad. You didn't see that at all." No,
yeah.
my family were great, and
No, that's
still
good.
are.
Like, yeah, that's the next one. Like, what about your family now? Like, you know, you've got grandkids and your kids as well. Like, obviously, you would have spoken about this. How have they sort of responded to it?
My granddaughter Hannah, who convinced me to write
That's
my
right. Yeah.
yeah, description of what I saw. I took her to the Grange when she was quite young, and we walked around. I mean, we used to play at the Grange. It was just we built cubbies out of logs and you know that sort of thing. It was just our play area, and she absolutely believes it. My daughters believe it. No one's ever questioned and said they don't believe me. Um, my grandson, yes, he knew about it, but he never talked about it very much. Um, but no, it's no one's ever questioned me. You know, they know that what I said was I was telling the truth. Mm.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. That's good. No, that's all
Mm.
right. It's like, has it sort of like, or your family members encouraged them to sort of like look more into the phenomena as well? Because obviously having someone who's witnessed something so phenomenal, like you know, in a
Look,
mass,
any
not in
one
the
of the family is interested in anything um, that's put together about the Westall UFOs because they're so familiar with my
yeah,
story and they know how much I just would like it proven that what we saw were UFOs.
yeah. No, that's
You
fair
know,
enough. That's all right.
mm.
I've just got another question here from Jimmy. There, he's asking, do you remember any smells that seemed odd
Sorry,
when you went to the Grange, in the Grange landing site at all?
was there any what?
Smells, weird smells, or anything odd about the area?
No, no, just the flattened area that was really odd.
Yeah,
Um, and those, as I said, those three swirling areas, circles within each one. The singeing around the edge of where they landed. What surprised me is, as singed as the grass was, why didn't the rest of it catch on fire? Because it was long grass. That's a question that I've always had. I don't know whether that would ever be answered or not, but yeah, that's one question that sticks in my mind.
yeah,
Because we, as I said, we knew the Grange well, and we played there. Right, we would leave home with a sandwich and a bit of a can of drink, or not so much a can of drink, but a bottle of drink,
yeah,
um, and just be told be home by the time the street lights are on.
hmm,
You know, and you were gone all day just playing. You know, and that's one thing that my granddaughter couldn't understand when I was showing her the Grange and where we used to play and that sort of thing. Um, she said to me, she was only about 10, and she said to me, "But Gran, what happens if one of you kids got hurt?" you know. You didn't have a telephone to ring the mums. I mean, this is a kid of one of today's minded,
Yeah,
with
mentality.
everyone having a phone and whatever. And I had to say to her, there was no such thing as mobile phones, and one of us just would run home to whoever got hurt, go home to their mum and say, "Oh, Johnny's been hurt," la la la, and the parents would come and help out at the Grange.
Yeah.
If anything happened, it's just a totally different perspective the kids of today have of
Oh, isn't it
growing up.
what?
Yeah,
It's strange to think 60 years ago, eh? Like, it's
I know.
it's
It's
a bloody long
incredible.
time, and so much has changed as
60
well.
years. Yeah, yeah. And it certainly doesn't seem that long. No. Mm. Because,
No, it doesn't.
any time you think of it, you it's it's like you're there and you're reliving it.
Yeah, you
You
still
know
got the same
what you
mindset of back
saw.
in the day.
And your story never changes. I mean, it's not a story, it's actual fact and what you saw.
Yeah.
Um, so therefore, it's in your mind as to what it was, and you don't elaborate on it or exaggerate. You just say what you saw.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, like, it's a totally different perspective to these days of, growing up as a kid to what we did back in the
Sorry,
day.
I can't hear you. It's blurry.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, like I was saying, like, it's a totally different perspective to now what kids are growing up with than what we used
Totally.
to. We're out on push bikes there riding around. Like I kick my kids out quite often there to go and get in the push bikes there and go and play with your friends and whatnot, and go out in the bush and go fishing or something like
Yeah.
have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Then the comforts of technology are there too, and like you got to
Mm.
adapt to that sort of nature these days. But it was a totally different world back in those days. It really was.
Yes. Yeah. Totally different. Totally different world. And yeah, if I had my life over again, I'd live it all the same way. I'd go through all of that again. It's just I've had an incredible life. It's just amazing.
Oh, lost her again. G'day Ryan there, welcome and thanks for subscribing to the channel, mate. Good to have you here. Yeah, look, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. We'll get it back on there in a sec there and finish this up. But if you've got any more questions there, please try and get them in there quickly before we do end it up. It's quite an amazing phenomenon encounter that's happened at Westall, and like we've been talking about, 60 years is a bloody long time. We've got it back.
I'm
Yeah, getting good with that. You're
getting
doing
good,
well.
aren't I? Yeah, cool.
How you doing? Well, so look, before we start finishing up, look, you're going to be there. Are you going to be there for the anniversary sort of do at the Grange there? Because I'm pretty sure they're doing
Um,
a meet up at the Grange again. Then there's also something happening at the library as well.
yeah, at the library on the 12th, Westall Library, I'll be at that.
Yep,
I am aiming to go to the Grange, but it's the Easter weekend, I think, when they're having
that's
the
right. Yeah, it
Grange
is.
one
Yeah.
on the Saturday. And my husband and I do markets on the weekend.
Ah, right.
Um, so if I can get out of the Saturday one, I will.
Yep.
We actually, I don't mind saying what we do. We grow saffron and
What is it?
sell
Saffron.
it and sell it at the
Okay.
market. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So it's a unique thing, and the market, the groups that hold the market, they really depend on us being there. But I'll see what I can do. If I can get to the Grange at all, I will be going.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And I will definitely be at the Westall Library one. Yes,
Yeah, beautiful. Saffron. That's a bit of hard work there going growing saffron.
bloody hard work.
It is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually like watched the little doco thing there going through my bloody Facebook there and seeing saffron, how they actually go through it, and that's a lot of work.
It's the world's most expensive spice,
It is,
and
yeah.
I'll just give you a little inkling. It takes 230,000 flowers to yield 1 kilogram of saffron, and
Wow.
everything worldwide is done by hand. There are no
Yeah,
machines for any part of
that's
it.
right.
Yeah, and it's
Yep.
just something that I decided to, once we moved up here and built this house and whatever, and before we even built the house, I just said to my husband, we were coming up weekends, he's still working, and
Yeah.
I'd said to my husband, the land here really should be doing something, even if it was growing vegetables for the family. And long story short was I went back to work that week and was reading a magazine at lunchtime, a gardening magazine, and came across an article on saffron and thought, well, we're up high. They love the altitude. Um, they love the sun, the rain, and the frost, which we get in South Gippsland.
Yep.
They rely on the frost to shoot in March when we're waiting for them to do that now. But yeah, and it's just incredible, and it's slightly sloping north facing, and they were the requirements. So I said to Ted,
Oh,
"Okay, let's buy some of these corn," and
yeah.
we did. We put 250 in 15 years ago, and now we've got over 130,000, but we're still not up to the kilo.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
But
Still
yeah,
though.
but we're working harder than we ever did. And we retired that many years ago, and yeah,
Yeah,
we're working
75
harder
is still
now.
kicking.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll slowly dig them up and sell them commercially, and
Yeah,
actually
fair enough.
retire, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I reckon he's better off doing it now, eh? While the the world's gonna go to
I
shit
can't hear
soon.
you,
So,
Anthony. I can't hear you.
oh, sorry, you can hear me now.
Yeah.
I say you're probably better off doing it now before the world goes to shit, so you can actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The-
Oh well, we'll see what happens. The same as
that's,
the USA. We'll see what happens.
that's right. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Eh?
Yeah.
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 Well, if anyone's got any quick questions there before we finish up, please get it in there and whatnot. We'll put it in. But otherwise, Phil, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's absolutely great having you on. Definitely, it's as I said before, it's one of those amazing phenomena and Australia's most mass UFO sighting that ever really been recorded in
Yeah.
Australian history, basically. But it's just
Mm.
one of those ones that just continue to add mystery to everything there, and we're still getting no bloody answers there, which adds to your
We need
60 years
answers.
worth of frustration. It's
Yeah. That's right. We definitely need answers. 60 years is just too long.
it
Mm.
is, it is, and
Mm.
like it's I don't know, things should be different today, in that sort of sense. Like
Well,
let's
like,
look
they
was it
know a lot, but they keep a lot to, and they have for years. Yeah.
yeah, I know they have, and like
Mm.
where did she go? What's the Uh, Coral's like mentioned in there too. Like just imagine if Westall Encounter happened in today's world. Like how many videos there'd be. People would be talking about it everywhere through social media. It'd be a
Oh, God, if
totally
it happened
different ball game.
today, yeah, there's no way you could keep it quiet. No way. No.
No way.
Mm. No.
So actually, but that's a question for you. Like, how do you sort of feel like because obviously back in those days, people were claiming and reporting a lot of UFO sightings and encounters. But have you noticed that over the years it's been a little bit different? Like, there's not as many uh obvious sightings, or there's no there's like your like the Western one, there's no real
No.
hardcore sightings.
Yeah, people these days have their phones and everything else, and they take pictures and videos of lights in the sky and all that sort of thing. But nothing so far as blatantly obvious as what we saw. No,
Yeah,
no.
and it's strange, isn't it? Like, everyone's got the phone in their pocket there with has a a pretty decent camera in there, and we still have not got any of those undeniable captures. It's strange, isn't it?
No. Yeah. I just hope as I get older, I don't get dementia and forget what I saw.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's here recorded now, so if you do
Oh yeah,
forget,
it's
just
all
watch this again
recorded.
and
That's good.
and then you can sort of jot your memory like, "Oh, yeah, I remember that now." Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, as far as I'm concerned, it's something I will never forget. Never.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
that's it. That's wonderful. Look, thank you again for joining me. It's absolutely wonderful, and unfortunately, I can't make it down there because I'm about, what is it, 2,500 kilometers away from you guys. So, yeah, a bit of a hike to get down there. I was gonna try and get down there to go and, cover the whole weekend, but unfortunately,
Oh, yeah.
flights and then, to try or driving down, fuel prices
Yeah.
have gone through the bloody roof there, and it's just
Oh, shocking.
unachievable.
Mm.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah, guys,
Well, it would be good if you could get there though, but yeah, it'd be great to meet you.
oh no, I would love to have met you and everyone else. That's like just hearing everyone else's different, their side of the story. It would have been absolutely amazing because
Yeah,
like I said before, it's such a phenomenal encounter, and that
it is. And it's such
it's
a privilege
amazing.
to have seen it. Mm.
It is. Oh, dang it. So I'm just gonna get some information quickly. So in case people wanted to go check out, we got lost it now. Where are you? So on the weekend, what did you say? The 12th of
It's the
12th,
12th
12th
of
of
April. I
April.
think
There's the
it's
one at the library.
The Sunday after Easter at the
Yep.
Westall Library. Now, the library is as far as I know, it's been built on the same um, land as the two schools, the state school and the high school.
Yep.
So it'll
Okay.
be there, yeah.
Right. So yeah,
And I
guys,
think
if
it goes
you're in that area,
from 2 till 5 in the afternoon.
that's it. Right. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's cool. Like if any of the listeners here are actually down that area, by all means, go and check it out. And they are doing a on the day an anniversary get together there at the Grange as well.
Yeah, there'll
On
be
the 6th.
questions and answers, and I think Shane Ryan might be there as well, and going to give a talk on what his research and what he's found out in the meantime. So
Yep.
over all those years, so it'll be quite interesting.
No, that's right. Also, guys, if you want to get more information or try and talk about the Westall Encounter thing, they've got the Westall Flying Saucer incident there on the Facebook there. That's got a Facebook group dedicated to the whole Westall thing there. So if you want to check out more information or have a chat there, go and join the page there. Thanks to Shane Ryan, he's created that whole page group there, and people can go and talk about the whole Westall thing there. Um, but otherwise, Phil, thank you so much. It's been wonderful again having you here, and by all means, I
I
hope you have a.
apologise for the trouble in the beginning with the
No, it's fine.
connection.
That's fine.
But no, it's been great. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. I'll hopefully get some listeners there to come in and say good day to you on the day there, and hopefully you get to make it. Basically,
What? Didn't
I
get
hope
you.
you get to make it to the weekend.
Can't hear you.
I hope you get to make it there on the weekend.
Oh yes, I will. Well, hopefully I'll get to the Grange. Yes, if I can at all, I'll be there.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. Well, hopefully some people get to go there and see you and say good day.
Cool. Okay. Thanks very
Wonderful.
much, Anthony.
Thank you, Phil, and until next time, mate. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Oh, thanks guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. There's Phil, one of the witnesses there of the Westall Encounter, which is absolutely amazing encounter. As we've said before, it's one of Australia's most mass amazing sightings there of the UFOs. So if you can make it down there on the weekend there, so 12th of April is the one happening there at the library there, which will be questions and answers and people just talking about the whole encounter in general there. Or if you want to go down to the actual Grange itself there on the 6th of April there, they will be doing another meet-up for the anniversary day there as well, with a heap of witnesses there going up doing their annual sort of meet and greets and whatnots. But otherwise, guys, so thank you so much there for joining me tonight. Thanks for the questions there. Who we got here? So I'll just go through a run through. Jane, as always, great to see you again. Wonderful seeing you there. Tom, thanks for coming back, mate. It's good seeing you there. Also, Emma there, thanks for your questions there, joining in. I've seen you a few times here now in the chat. Says absolutely awesome seeing you back in. We also got Wayne. Good to see you there, Wayne. Thanks for coming back in as well as Jimmy. Good seeing you join there, and thanks for your questions there too, mate. It's absolutely awesome. Aussie Sue, always a pleasure seeing you as well. Coral, thanks for coming in again. It's it would have been absolutely amazing seeing what today's sort of outcome was if we did have another mass sighting. We've got a lot of different technologies today. And Roger, thanks for joining in, mate, for your question there as well. And then we also got Ryan there, who's a new subscriber to the channel there. Thanks for joining in and subscribing. So Otherwise, yeah, guys, thanks for joining me. We will be doing another cover of the Westall Encounter there tomorrow night. I've got Bill Chalker, George Simpson, and Grant Levac joining me. We're going to be talking about the whole Westall Encounter from pretty much scratch, from basically covering the whole thing from start to finish of when it first happened there to pretty much how today's sort of research has happened today. So there'll be the same time tomorrow with a bit of less technological difficulties. Hopefully, we'll be on time this time. But it'll be 6 p.m. Queensland time, otherwise 7 p.m. for the the usual Eastern Standard Time there. So um, join me tomorrow night. We'd love to see you again in the chat there. So till we get next time, guys. Hope look forward to seeing you. Basically, also don't forget you can support the channel there. Go on our online store there. Go and get some awesome merchandise, some shirts, some magnets and whatnot. Basically, there's some shirts as well. Got different designs there, and some more stuff coming as well. So yeah, just help support the channel there, and just rocking out in some awesome gear. Otherwise, just share it out to your friends and family, and hit a like on this bad boy, and that's pretty much all I need. But otherwise, I'll stop babbling and let you go. But again, thanks for joining me tonight, and till next time, eh? See you tomorrow's night, hopefully. Catch you later. See you guys.